The discovery that nothing inherently matters is not a nihilistic collapse. It is the precise mechanism by which full human agency becomes operationally available for the first time. Paris, October 1941. Albert Camus, 28 years old, Algerian-born. Active in the French resistance. Tuberculosis advancing through his second lung. Submitted to manuscripts to Gallimard on the same afternoon. The first was a novel. The second was a philosophical essay that opens with a single sentence: "There is but one truly serious philosophical problem, and that is suicide." Not metaphorically, not as provocation. Camus was writing under a regime that could execute him for the content of his notebooks, in a body already executing him on a slower schedule. And his argument was this: nothing inherently matters. Not survival, not occupation, not death. And that is the only foundation on which a fully conscious human life can be built. You have arrived at some version of this observation already. Not in those conditions, but in the quieter iteration that arrives when the correct structure of your life is complete and still generates. The question, what is all of this for, when the career is intact, the relationship is real, the goals are advancing, and the emptiness persists underneath, unaffected by the accomplishments stacked on top of it. That is not a personal failure, that is the correct observation. And what Camus decoded in occupied Paris is the reason why that observation does not end in collapse. It ends in the only form of freedom that cannot be revoked by external conditions. In the next minutes, I am going to map the mechanisms, the exact structural claim Camus made, and why every culture instinctively suppresses it. The psychological architecture of absurdity, not as philosophy but as a precise description of how the conscious mind operates. The three evasion strategies that activate the moment this architecture becomes visible, and why each one reduces present moment engagement proportionally. The specific operational response Camus called revolt, the most misread concept in his entire framework. And finally, the mechanism behind the Sisyphus image, the finding that explains why the people who have gone furthest into meaninglessness report the highest functional relationship to life. The only serious philosophical problem, Camus argued, is not whether God exists, not whether consciousness survives death, not whether free will is real. The serious problem is why you continue. Given full awareness that no external authority has assigned your life significance, that the universe is structurally indifferent to whether you exist or do not, what is the rational basis for continuing to operate? The absurd in Camus's precise formulation is not a property of the world. It is a structural description of a relationship, the collision between two things that cannot be reconciled. The first is the human demand for clarity. Against this stands the universe, which is, as Camus noted with complete precision, silent. The interpretation is entirely the human operation. The meaning is entirely the human construction. When the absurd becomes visible, three evasion strategies activate: philosophical suicide, the leap into belief; denial, the concealment of death anxiety through immortality projects; and hope as a mechanism for deferring the present moment. Each relocates meaning outside the present. Camus proposed one response: revolt, not defiance, but the refusal to evade, maintaining full awareness of the absurd without resolving it. This is the moment full engagement becomes possible. Camus ends the Myth of Sisyphus with a claim that reads as paradox: Sisyphus is happy. The punishment was based on the idea that futility produces despair, but meaning is not downstream of significance, it is downstream of full engagement. The boulder is not the point, the pushing is. The recognition that nothing inherently matters is not the problem, it is the door. Because the moment you stop requiring the boulder to stay at the top, the pushing becomes, for the first time, entirely your own.